Greetings, true believers, Drill Pal Spider-Man. Hey, Gaudry, it's KJ here. Looking forward to today. We're actually going to get some rain today. It's actually a chance of thunderstorms. Today is Wednesday, so every day from now until Sunday, we've got a good chance of thunderstorms. So I'm really looking forward to finally getting some rain. Hopefully some of that rain will be enough to fill up my pond. We had a few hours of rain last weekend, and that was able to put a couple inches back in my pond, which is completely dried out. So it's really going to take a lot of rain or a steady downpour of several hours, if not all day long and overnight, to fill it back up. But we need the rain. Everybody's ponds are down. Mine's just a really tiny pond, so it completely dried up. Anyways, we are going to continue on using Spike stick and doing something a little different today. I grabbed my smog bore. It's been a while since I've used a bore, so I wanted to give that a try with the Spike. So as I was working out this morning, I watched Josh's and Chris's videos from yesterday and this morning. Enjoyed both of those. Alright, so as I've noted before, just gonna load a little bit straight off of the stick just to make sure I get enough. Probably get enough on the face just from loading it directly on, but I want to make sure. It's been a long while since I've actually used a bore. I do like them though. They've got surprisingly soft tips. I guess most people think of bores as being tough and scritchy, but once you get a bore nice and broken in, the tips split. They can actually be softer in feel than a badger. And they usually got lots of good backbone, so I think they work well for face lathering. Must have enough water in there because I'm flinging lather everywhere. Alright. Another go with the Techmatic. I'm really bad about updating my counter on this razor. Pretty sure yesterday was 18, so this will be the 19th shave. Not really any signs of it letting up, which is kind of the way it goes for blades for me. I'll typically use a blade. It'll take a couple of days to kind of break in First couple shaves might be a little rough. And then it'll kind of mellow out. And then they usually start to get a little bit rough for a shave or two, but nothing horrible. And then after that, they mellow out again, and usually good for a very long time after that. I think once you get over that hump, most people get to that hump and toss the blade as soon as they start to feel it degrading. But I find that if you just push through that, you're gonna get to a point where the blade stabilizes. For most people, just based off of reading posts in the forums, I'd say most people tend to get a week with a blade on average. I know a lot of people just use blades for 2 or 3 uses and then they toss them because they're like, well, they're cheap. But I'm cheap, so I want my blades to last as long as possible. It's not uncommon for me to take a blade out to at least a month. Sometimes 2 months or more. That's why I'm thinking that now that this razor is seemed to kind of level out, if it might last for a long time. Trying to do some quick touch up so I can finish this shave up. Kind of in a hurry this morning. Hit the snooze button a couple times extra. But I made my coffee last night, I made my breakfast last night, made my lunch last night, so everything just needs to figure out from the fridge and head out the door, so I don't think I'll be pressed for time. Alright, so pretty good. I didn't go for quite the closeness of my last shaves, but it's really good. Again, I just love how the spike just cleans up. You're not sitting there trying to rinse your face off for a minute. Just 1 or 2 splashes of water and it's gone. All right, so per request from Chris, I'm gonna use my Florida water. Posted about this in one of his threads about mixing aftershaves. And somebody came up with the concoction of mixing Florida water with Aquavelva and came up with something that they call Blue Steel. So I bought a bottle of Florida water a while back, but actually hadn't opened it because I used a bottle of it a while back and didn't really care for the scent, but found this one in glass, which yes, they still make this in glass. Florida water comes in like 3 or 4 different size bottles, but the 7.5 ounce bottle, I think they make it in plastic and glass, but the 7.5 ounce bottle is the only one that they make in glass. So you can still find Florida water in glass, but only the original Florida water. I know the Murray and Landman, they make a few different types of Florida water, different scents or whatever. One's Canaga water and stuff like that. Anyways, this is the only one that still comes in glass in the United States. I think Peru, there's one that comes out of Peru, and that one I think you can get in glass, but only in Peru. I don't think they have it here. Anyways, when I used this before, I didn't really care for the scent too much. And I posted in the forum yesterday that from memory, it was kind of a light citrusy and spicy scent, which I'll concur with a little bit. It's not as citrusy as I recall, but Doug D. Keister commented on that thread that it smells like the gummy cola bottles. And really it does. I don't know that I would have come up with that on my own or had ever thought about that, but it really does smell like that. And I don't know if my previous Florida water was in a plastic bottle and this one's in a glass bottle, so I don't know if that is affecting the scent, or at least maybe not affecting the scent, whereas the plastic bottle I had before was affecting the scent. Maybe that's why I didn't like it. Or maybe it's just been years since I smelled it and my smell has changed, sense of smell. So it does smell pretty good. Oh, and I should have grabbed some, this is gonna hurt. I should have grabbed some witch hazel first, because this stuff burns a lot. Alright, so the shave must have been pretty good because that didn't burn as much as I was expecting. But the ingredients are alcohol, water, fragrance, color. That's it. So pretty much on par with the ingredients list for fine aftershaves. Just really basic, but this technically isn't an aftershave. The label says it is cologne, which is why it doesn't have anything in it as far as face moisturizing, healing. It's just alcohol, water, and fragrance. And very, very minimal dye, just teeny bit of blue and yellow dye to just give it that hint of green. But it dries down real fast. The scent is pretty pleasant. Surprised by that, just because I knew I wasn't a fan before and had kind of shunned the product. But really glad I revisited it. So I'll be making up a little sample bottle of the Blue Steel and give that a go here in the near future and see if that's something that I do like, because I do remember it was a decent scent. I just still didn't like the scent of the Florida water that was coming through. But now that I like it a little bit better, I think I'm going to give it a shot. So there you go, Chris. There's my review of Florida water. I know I said it burns a whole lot, but that must be a pretty good shave because it didn't burn as much as I remember it burning. I said before it was on par with Virgin Island Bay rum from Pinard and Lilac Vegetal. To those level of burns, and actually today it wasn't quite that much burning. The Virgin Island Bay rum gets a lot of burn just from the cinnamon that's in it. So this is just an alcohol burn, which it does evaporate off pretty quick. It's based on the ingredients list, it's over 50% alcohol. It could be a lot higher, I have no idea, but it's at least 50%. So yeah, good shave, good aftershave. Glad I revisited the Florida water. Glad I got a nice glass bottle for display purposes and something that I can always refill if I can't find the glass bottle again. But I do have a sort of local source for it, so I can. I'll go pick up a few more because I think this bottle was like $5, which is pretty good. It's another one of those cheap. Well, it's a cologne, but those cheap aftershave splashes. So it's good for mixing, good for experimenting with. Like I said, it just has a light spicy note. The spice is what's most prevalent. I'd say the spice is kind of like the spice that's coming from Old Spice scent. It doesn't have the floral tobacco-ish kind of notes that Old Spice has, but just the spicy part of Old Spice is what I'm smelling in that. Anyways, that's my shave for today. We'll see you guys on the forums, shavingcadre.com. Check us out, and have a good day, folks. Bye.